The New York Jets select Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner is a New York Jet!
Swaggy Sauce Gardner.
I love Sauce. I love his tape. I love his press technique. I love his confidence. He has everything you want to see in the position. And I think Robert Saleh in this scheme is perfect. It's a hand-in-glove fit for him, man.
Garrett Wilson.
It's Garrett Wilson! The New York Jets have just got two big-time playmakers!
I believe that Garrett Wilson is going to be the most impactful rookie receiver in this class. And I think we see Zach Wilson play like he did the last 6 games of the year, times 10, and have a phenomenal second season.
Wow, you think? Yeah! Yeah! Let's Jermaine Johnson!
Brees Hall, running back, Iowa State.
Brees Hall, oh my God, they got him! They went offense. They went with the best running back in the draft. Jeremy Rucker, oh my God! The Long Island native is a New York Jet! J-E-T-S, Jet! Let's go!
Yo, what up, man? Shout out Jets Media. This is the guy right here, man. Y'all stay tuned. Keep with it.
Appreciate you, my man. Big season. Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? We got some interesting news to talk about that just broke from Robert Saleh himself. Robert Saleh spoke to the media, and he had an update on our quarterback, Zach Wilson. According to Robert Saleh, Zach Wilson went through a workout and a walkthrough today, and everything looked pretty good. And there's nothing but positive things coming out of what they saw from Zach Wilson's knee today. Now, Zach Wilson seems to be progressing extremely well with his knee. And according to Robert Saleh, he will announce the starting quarterback on Wednesday to see if Zach Wilson continuously progresses. They're going to continuously look at his knee, make sure that it's all set to go. I'm telling you this, based on what I've heard from from Robert Saleh, all throughout this entire injury process since Zach Wilson got injured. If Zach Wilson is physically healthy, if there's no limitations to his knee physically, he has no issues throwing Zach Wilson out there on the field because he thinks he is ready to go. He believes that Zach Wilson has enough time to practice this week, which if his knee's all good to go, he should be ready to practice. Today, Robert Saleh said they didn't really do a traditional practice because usually the Monday after a 3-day weekend, he says injury starts happening and he does not want anybody to get injured before week number 1. So Robert Saleh brought his team, the New York Jets, to a walkthrough today instead of a traditional practice. So tomorrow, if Zach Wilson's practicing and he's practicing again Wednesday, there's a very good chance that Robert Saleh announces Zach Wilson's the quarterback. Now, this is not guaranteed that Zach Wilson's going to be ready to go, but it definitely is a phenomenal sign that he's progressing in the right direction. Because what this tells me is, say Zach's not ready to go week 1, 100% he'll be ready to go week number 2 because of how well he's progressing. So, guys, if you're just tuning into the stream, please do me a favor and hit that like button for your boys so we get as many Jets fans in here as possible to talk about this latest news about Robert Saleh. We already have 65 people tuning in with only 14 likes. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button for your boy. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys. Now we're going to hear from Robert Saleh himself to talk about this news so you guys can hear what the coach had to say. So listen up.
See how the knee responds today and tomorrow, and we'll have an answer for everybody on Wednesday.
So there's a possibility he could play on Sunday.
Possible.
Is that surprising at all, Robert, given what the kind of initial prognosis was?
No. Everyone heals differently. It's like I said, we'll see what happens tomorrow and all that stuff. But everyone has a different. I almost feel like some of the guidelines that are put on are they're guidelines, but everyone responds differently, I guess.
So when you say you guys worked him out, like what does that entail exactly?
Just putting them through some workouts, running, and all that stuff, and I mean whatever they do. I wish I'd have to get you that answer from the training staff and our docs.
So you heard it from the man. He's progressing very well. Everybody heals differently at their own pace. And Zach Wilson has an outside chance of playing week number 1. Now, this is a very positive sign for our quarterback that he is already potentially ready to go for opening day. Now, we went through the entire preseason process with Joe Flacco as the number 1 quarterback after Zach Wilson got injured in that game against the Eagles in week 1. And Joe Flacco did pretty good in training camp. But the first time we saw Joe Flacco in game action against the Giants' backup defense with the Jets starting offense, Joe Flacco was doing what we know Joe Flacco can do, getting rid of the ball quickly, precise with his decisions outside of that one terrible mistake he had, so that resulted in a pick 6. So we know that Joe Flacco, we know what we're getting from Joe, right? But Zach Wilson has that element to his game where, first of all, he's the most important piece of this entire team. If he really gets going, if Zach Wilson takes just a step in the right direction, that is going to change this entire perception of the New York Jets organization. Now, we're not expecting Zach Wilson to take off and be one of the top young quarterbacks in the NFL. That should not be the expectations. But at the same time, Jets fans need to realize that Zach Wilson, and I'm pretty sure everyone understands this already, Zach Wilson needs to show that he was the 2nd overall pick for a reason. Because there's no more babying him. There's no more excuses around him. He doesn't have the rookie excuse, the rookie offensive coordinator, not a lot of good weapons around him, not good protection, not good this, not good that. He has the weapons. He has the protection. He has the continuity in the system. He has a good offensive coordinator, in my opinion. He has a lot around him. So, again, Jets fans should not expect Zach Wilson to take that leap where all of a sudden he's putting up 35-plus touchdowns to 10 interceptions. But at the same time, Zach Wilson needs, and maybe it's not right out of the gate, maybe it's not the first couple of weeks, but he needs to find his rhythm and get consistent and play turnover-free football and play winning football. Be the reason why the New York Jets are winning some ball games. And I think he's going to do that. I think Zach Wilson in year 2 of this system is going to do just that. The reason why I have a lot of confidence in Zach Wilson is because he has all the physical attributes you want in a modern-day star NFL quarterback. He has the arm that can stretch it down the field 65, even 70 yards. He can throw that ball if he really put his all into it. His deep throw accuracy, his deep throw power is not a concern. It's an actual strength. His athleticism, he has the ability to be mobile to, if the pocket's collapsing, he has that spatial awareness where he can make people miss behind the line of scrimmage, extend plays to his right, extend plays to his left. He also has the ability to run with the football, make people miss in the open field. He has the longest rushing touchdown by a quarterback in the NFL since 2015, last year against the Jaguars. Now, we're not expecting Zach Wilson to rely on his legs like a guy like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray, but Zach Wilson has that in him where if he needs to use his legs, it's a weapon. Mike LaFleur did a tremendous job coaching this kid last year. If you guys remember, I think it was against the New Orleans Saints. Zach Wilson stepped up into the pocket, tucked the ball, ran for a first down, and he had a blocker in front of him with one DB that he needed to beat. Zach Wilson decided to slide. Mike LaFleur went to the tape, and he showed Zach Wilson the film. He's like, yo, I know that you can run with the football. You should not slide here. I understand that you want to be, you don't want to be over-aggressive with this, but challenge yourself. I'm challenging you to pick up the extra yards because you could have had a touchdown on this play. And if you look at the play I'm talking about, he rolled to it. He escaped the pocket, picked up the first down with his legs, had the ball in his hand, and the only people in front of him was his own blocker. I think it was Keelan Cole and one defensive back. And if Keelan Cole held his block, Zach Wilson was down the sideline for a touchdown. And then what happened the next week or the week after that? Zach Wilson had that 52-yard touchdown run. So that's just a little example I'm showing you guys of how great Mike LaFleur handled Zach Wilson's progression and how awesome it is for Zach Wilson to hear that coaching and apply it to his game. So that's why I'm excited to see what Zach Wilson does in year number 2, because I feel like his mentality and his ability to process information is what's going to be the deciding factor is if he's going to have a successful season for the New York Jets this year. He does have sneaky speed, as Hawk says in the chat. He does. Very underrated athlete, in my opinion. Also, if you want to compare the two quarterbacks that we have on the roster that's potentially starting week 1 in Joe Flacco and Zach Wilson. Joe Flacco is miles ahead of Zach Wilson mentally, and that is because of experience. When you're a quarterback entering year number 15 that's been in the league as long as Joe Flacco, there's no defensive looks that he's never seen before. He's not going to go out there and not know the system. He's not going to go out there and not know where things need to be. It's all in his mind because that's what a veteran presence brings. But physically, Joe Flacco doesn't have what he used to have. He's 37. But what Zach Wilson possesses is that physical talent over Joe Flacco. But Zach Wilson's mental game is what needs to be worked on, and that's okay. He's a year 2 quarterback. That's what he needs to develop, and that's why I'm really excited to see Zach Wilson come out here in year number 2 in the same system with a lot of the same familiar faces around him, like Elijah Moore, like Michael Carter, like Corey Davis and Braxton Berrios. There's a lot of familiar faces around him. And, of course, the new faces who's going to be really excited to see is Garrett Wilson, CJ Uzama, Tyler Conklin, Breece Hall. There's a lot of new faces that he's already gaining chemistry with. So Zach Wilson has to show that he is a starting NFL quarterback in this league. And we also need to know by the end of the season that Zach Wilson has what it takes to be the guy. He has what it takes to take that next step. He needs to prove to the rest of the league and to Jets fans and to the Jets coaching staff that he is everything that we hope for him to be. Jets fans have been waiting to crown a franchise quarterback for way too long, and I think Zach Wilson is going to prove that this year. So the fact that Zach Wilson could potentially be healthy for week number 1, that is awesome. Because if Zach gets on the field for week 1, and hopefully, and I please, hopefully, can stay healthy for the entire season, and he plays all 17 games, and he puts up a stat line like 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 63 completion percentage, 4 rushing touchdowns. That is a solid season, if I had to say. That's what I would hopeful for. Now, he doesn't have to get those exact stats. I just thought of a random projected stat in my head. But it does feel like the Jets are very optimistic about Zach Wilson, man. Because it really felt like even weeks ago that Robert Saleh had some type of inside information about Zach's progression without telling us. If I had to predict, guys, Zach Wilson's going to start week 1. I really, really think so. Especially hearing that he looked extremely well in today's workout. He went through practice in a very positive manner. His knee seems to be all ready to go. I think Zach Wilson's going to be the quarterback for week number 1. Now, there's going to be a lot of pressure because when you're a young quarterback with just a rookie season underneath your belt and you miss all the joint practices, you miss 3-4 weeks of training camp, you miss preseason reps, there is going to be a slight learning adjustment, a slight ramping up that Zach Wilson's going to have. And I don't know if we should expect Zach to come out there week 1 and light it up. So the Ravens are a very good football team. They have a very underrated secondary, a lot of all pros all across the board. They have the rookie Kyle Hamilton back there as well. And they got Patrick Queen. They got a good defensive line. They're not the greatest defense in the world. They don't scare me that much. But at the end of the day, they're still a very sizable defense that is very good. So, this is great news, man, about Zach Wilson, because the last thing that Jets fans needed to hear is that Zach's going backwards. We might not see him till week 3 or week 4, or there's a big setback. This is nothing but great news about the New York Jets quarterback. Jets fans should be hyped up about this, baby. If you're pumped up to hear that Zach Wilson could potentially be playing week number 1 for the New York Jets, Hit that thumbs up button for your boy. We got 40 likes with 153 people tuning into the show. We got a whole week of Jets football to talk about leading up until the game. Also, quick announcement. I will be live every single Monday for 2 hours. And it's going to be a brand new segment. I'm going to bring in some callers where you guys can come in and we can talk about the game that happened together. I'm truly trying to get a structural schedule for the season for Jets Media, where we got the live play-by-play reactions on Sundays during the game. I won't be live for this game because I'll be there at MetLife. We're going to have a post-game. We're going to have Monday show, 2 hours of me talking about the game and you guys coming in and give me your thoughts and just recapping everything that we saw. Tuesday, we're going to have a really fun segment where we talk about the risers and the fallers of the Jets. Which players are looking really good? Which players are struggling? And I have a lot of sponsorships lined up as well. So we're going to be talking about some sports books. There's actually a really awesome company that I'm excited to talk about with you guys. And it's really cool because it's like a sports stock market. So you can like invest in Zach Wilson for the long run. And we're going to be talking about what the stock is looking like on Zach. Should we invest in him? Should we, all that type of stuff. So we're going to be talking about that on Tuesday. Wednesday, we're going to have another show, of course. And then the AFC East Roundtables Wednesday night. Thursday, we'll have a preview show. Friday, we'll have a Madden type of content day. We're going to have a lot of fun this year, man. We're going to have a lot of fun here on Jets Media. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you not hit that notification bell so you get notified every time your boy goes live, make sure you do so because there's a lot of things to look forward to here on Jets Media. And we're just getting started, baby. Season's right around the corner. Jets Media is going crazy this year. Jets Media is going crazy, as well as the New York Jets are going to go crazy this year. As well as Zach Wilson's going to go crazy this year. Huh? How about that? My guy, Zach Wilson, is ready to go, potentially. It's not confirmed. It's not 100%. But there's a very good chance that Zach Wilson, and I knew that was a chance to find out today. I woke up this morning and I'm like, today would be a great day to hear that Zach Wilson's practicing and everything's looking good. And that's exactly what happened. It's exactly what happened. We hear that Zach Wilson's progressing. Let's go. So, in other Jets news, we found out the captains. The Jets have announced 3 captains on all phases of the ball. Guess who's the captain of the offense? You're looking at him. Nope, not me. That guy. Zach Wilson will be the captain of the offense. On defense, we got C.J. Mosley as the captain of the defense. And on special teams, we have Justin Hardy representing the captain. And then Robert Saleh also said that the coaching staff will vote on a new captain every single week to have 4 captains in total. Now, I love these captains. Same captains from last year. You want the quarterback as your captain. C.J. Mosley is the bona fide leader of that defense. He is the biggest vocal leader. He's a guy that you want to look up to. He should be that captain role, and I'm so happy he still has that C badge on his jersey. And Justin Hardy, he is a very good leader. If you hear what he has to say, off the field, in the locker room, he's just a culture guy, man. I feel like Justin Hardy is here for the culture rather than a guy that's like, one of the best gunners in the NFL, which he struggled last year. He had a lot of penalties. But Justin Hardy, in my opinion, deserves that captain honor. Because remember, this is voted by the players. This is voted by the players. So the players look up to Justin Hardy as a leader. The players look up to C.J. Mosley as a leader. They want to hear what they have to say. That's what you get. You can't look at the captain badge and think like, oh, that guy's the best player. Who else would be the captain of the special teams besides Justin Hardy? For the people saying, Justin Hardy, what? Justin Hardy, what the hell? He is a perfect culture piece to this team. If you watch One Jets Drive, if you see behind the scenes of this team, Justin Hardy is always making the speeches. He's always making his voice heard. He is a perfect locker room presence. That's why he's the captain of the special teams. There's nobody else that has that energy to them. Greg Zuerlein's not going to go up in the middle of in front of the team and have a speech. Braden Mann, Thomas Hennessy, no, none of those guys have it. Justin Hardy has that captain ability, and I'm happy that he got that captain badge. He deserves it. CJ Mosley, everybody looks up to him. There's no question. There's no question in my eyes that CJ Mosley deserves that captain honor over anybody else on the team. And then, of course, you'd want your quarterback to be the captain of the offense. It's that simple. And it also is cool that the Jets are going to be voting in a new captain every week from the coaching staff. So this is just phenomenal news about Zach Wilson, and cool to hear the captains that are announced. I think that Zach Wilson has a chance to really step it up this year, baby. Let's go. Let's go. So I see that we have a bunch of new people tuning into the stream right now. For those guys who are just tuning in and just hearing the news, Zach Wilson has a chance of playing week number 1 against the Baltimore Ravens. We will find out on Wednesday when Saleh announces it. And this news came from Robert Saleh this morning when he spoke to the media. He said that Zach Wilson was worked out today and everything went well. Everything is progressing in the right direction. Everybody heals differently. And we all had a sense that Zach Wilson was progressing in the right direction. And the Jets have just been keeping it secret. That's, at least I had that perception. So if Zach is ready to go week 1, can you imagine what the stadium is going to be like to hear Zach Wilson coming out of that tunnel? Oh my gosh. I'm going to be there losing my voice. Can you imagine if Zach Wilson and the New York Jets beat the Baltimore Ravens at home? Now, we're going to get into the preview stuff more down the week, where we're going to go live and really go in depth about the Baltimore Ravens and how we can dissect what to expect with this franchise against the Ravens. How do we contain Lamar Jackson? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? How do we exploit their weaknesses? Because that's what coaches need to do. And that's another thing I really want to talk about the Jets season this year, is we could talk about Zach Wilson all we want. We could talk about all these players all we want. But do you know what could be the most important piece to this entire team this year? And you guys know this already. I'm not telling you something you don't already know, but it's a talking point. The coaching staff. The coaching staff. The good coaches in this league are the ones that can absolutely create a game plan and a scheme and make sure that their players are executing it at a high level. It's all up to coaching now. Because you see, for example, right? The New England Patriots, the team that we all have grown to hate. If you look at their roster right now, it doesn't scare people. Even last year, they're not that talented on paper. But do you know who their coach is? One of the greatest, and Bill Belichick. That's why the New England Patriots, even without Tom Brady last year, made it to the playoffs with a rookie quarterback. It's because of coaching. It's because they have a set discipline culture there where it's a structural system that just works. And they're not big names on that team. Yes, they had J.C. Jackson. They had a bunch of different players. But the reason why I'm bringing up the Patriots is because they are just the epitome of having excellent coaches. Shows that talent doesn't win ball games. Talent doesn't win you football games. Coaching that can use the talent on the roster is what wins you football games. And the Jets have all the talent you need this year. You hear all the national media talking about the Jets. You hear everybody bringing up the Jets. We're so talented this season on paper. This is the most talented team I've ever seen as a Jets fan, especially when you talk about youth talent. This is not a team that's talented with washed-up veterans like 2015, for example. And that's nothing to say against those players that balled out. I love Brandon Marshall. Love all those defensive players. I love Eric Decker, Fitzpatrick. But and Matt Forte. We all know that team, the last time the Jets had a winning record, those are all veterans at the end of their career that still had a lot of juice left in the tank, where it wasn't a team that can be a sustainable winner for years and years and years. Whereas this season, replace Brandon Marshall with Garrett Wilson, a rookie. Replace Eric Decker with year 2 Elijah Moore. Replace Quincy Enunwa with a good veteran in Corey Davis. Replace Matt Forte and Chris Ivory and that whole backfield and Bilal Powell with the young players of Michael Carter and Breece Hall. So my point is, this young Jets team is talented, and we're building something special for the long run. That's what gets me excited. That's what's getting me excited about this season. Jets fans are not expecting to win the Super Bowl this year. We just want to be competitive in December, playing meaningful games, prove to be a franchise that are making the right draft picks and developing these players. And I think that's what we have to prove. Now, briefly touching up on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson is not extended yet, and he gave the Baltimore Ravens a deadline to extend him. Now, I don't know if that means he's going to hold out. I don't expect him to hold out. I'm not going to put all my eggs in the basket about that possibility. But the Baltimore Ravens are a team that I think a lot of people are sleeping on because of what they had to suffer last year with injuries. So when you look at the Baltimore Ravens on paper, offensively speaking, they have a former MVP and a star quarterback, Lamar Jackson. They have one of the best tight ends in the NFL in Mark Andrews with a really promising rookie, Isaiah Likely, behind him. And the receiving core doesn't scare you on paper at all. I mean, Rashad Bateman is like their only guy that you can really say, like, okay, that guy is something, but he's also didn't really show anything last year because he was injured as a rookie. And the backfield, they signed Kenyon Drake. J.K. Dobbins could be injured. Gus Edwards is injured. There's a lot of injuries to that backfield. So when you're the Jets, defensively speaking, about this Baltimore Ravens offense, the key for me, blitzing and containing Lamar Jackson in the pocket, forcing Lamar to beat us with his arm, forcing him to throw the ball to the corners. Do not allow Lamar Jackson to throw the ball over the middle, because Mark Andrews is going to eat us up if we allow that to happen. This New York Jets team was terrible last year at guarding tight ends over the middle and guarding just receivers over the middle. I have confidence in the players on the corners and Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed if he's healthy. DJ Reed is also banged up, so we might not be able to see DJ Reed this week. But regardless, Bryce Hall will step in and play well. So my key to victory on the defensive side of the ball for the New York Jets, put a quarterback spy on Lamar Jackson with Whitehead. Do not allow him to escape the pocket. Keep him inside the pocket and force him to throw the ball. Do not allow Lamar Jackson to run the ball at all, which that's just impossible. He's going to run the ball. It's inevitable. And force him to throw the ball to the corners and force Lamar Jackson to throw the ball more than he wants to. Because we have to stop the run and force Lamar to throw it. That's what we need. Now, if you want to talk about the Jets offense, now there's two ways we can look at this, whether Zach is playing or not. Since we got the news that Zach Wilson could play week 1, we're going to run with the hypothetical that Zach's playing week number 1. If Zach Wilson's playing week number 1, this is what the game plan should be, in my opinion. First of all, really try to establish a run game early with Hall and Carter. But do not just rely on it. Do not run the ball 3 times in a row and then it's 3 and out. Let Hall and Carter get open in space. Get Zach into rhythm early with quick screen passes, quick decision routes. Give the ball to the tight ends. Don't force Zach Wilson to chuck the ball down the field right away. Let him get into a rhythm, establish a run game, and then you set up the play action for Zach Wilson to heave the ball deep. I want to see Zach at least try a couple bombs down the field to Elijah Moore or Garrett Wilson. I really think that Zach Wilson, and of course we wanted to see him play smart with the football, playing within the structure of the offense, but at the same time still have that killer instinct that he has to maneuver out of the pocket, make something out of nothing. I think he has that ability in him to do that. But when it comes to the offense, get rid of the ball fast. We do not want to see Zach Wilson hold on to the football and get sacked. He had a problem with that last year. Hit your easy throws. That was an issue last year. Zach Wilson did not look comfortable throwing easy routes. Easy 3-yard out route. Quick slant over the middle. Running back in the flat, misses. He did that a lot last year. And even in the preseason, he had a terrible pass to Garrett Wilson over his head that should have been completed. So Zach needs to stick to his fundamentals, make sure that his lower half, his feet all the way up to his head are in sync, and the timing with his team and timing with his weapons are all in sync. So that's where it comes to on the offense. If we can establish a run game with Breece Hall and Michael Carter, get them the ball in space in the passing game as well. Nice little screen pass to Michael Carter. Nice little screen pass to Breece Hall. If the run game's not working, you still got to give the ball to those two running backs in space in the passing game because they're way too talented to not be a huge impact. Hell, you can say Breece Hall and Michael Carter can be both starters in fantasy football this year as a flex. Like, they're both going to be splitting the backfield. Breece Hall is not going to take all the reps, by the way. Michael Carter is going to get a lot of touches this season. A lot. It's going to be split. Now, there might be a game where Hall is on fire, where you just can't take him off the field. There'll be some games when Carter's on fire. You can't take him off the field, and one player will get more touches than the other. So, I think this game is going to be won at the line of scrimmage. I think the New York Jets offensive line really needs to make sure that they can open up the holes and protect Zach. That's a given. We need to make sure that the weapons around Zach can get a sense to help him out. If things get broken down, can CJ Uzomah break off his route and get open for his quarterback? Because I think that's going to be a really awesome connection that Zach Wilson's going to get with his tight ends, with Conklin and Uzomah. Those two guys are going to be perfect for broken down plays, and Zach Wilson dumps it down to them, and they pick up an extra 10, 15 yards. I want to see methodical drives. I want to see Zach Wilson take some shots down the field, but we need the weapons to get open down the field, and I think Elijah Moore has that in him to get open down the field. We saw Zach take some shots last year in his debut, week number 1 against the Panthers. I remember he threw a dime to Elijah Moore. It literally was in Elijah's hands. It was a tough grab. There was a defender draped all over him, but it went through the hands of Elijah. And when I saw Zach throw that, I was like, wow, he's got a cannon. Zach has a cannon. So another big X factor of this game that the Jets struggled with big time last year, starting the game with urgency. How many times have the Jets come out flat-footed? They get the ball first, 3 and out. The defense gets on the field. They cannot stop them. They march down the field at 7-0 with 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. 10-0 right away. We're down 10-0. We're down 14-0. That can't happen. We cannot allow this Jets team to just fall behind and play from behind the entire time. You're not going to be able to establish a good run game if that's the case. So you got to come out there with a sense of urgency. If you get the ball first, go down the field and at least put up 3 points. If you are on defense first, get a stop. Show the rest of the league that this Jets team is different and we're not the same old Jets. Michael with the $2 donation. Thank you so much, Michael. Stop them with quarterback contained mix and blitz. Yeah, man. I agree. This is my key to victory as well. You want to contain Lamar Jackson in the pocket, have a quarterback spy, force Lamar Jackson to beat you with his arm. Appreciate the $2, man. Now, Primo brings up a really good point. You guys are talking about just contain Lamar Jackson like that's an easy task to do. It is not an easy task to do, and I think Jets fans need to prepare ourselves for that. When we say contain Lamar Jackson with his legs, Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, is the best dual threat quarterback in the league. He's going to be picking up the first down with his legs throughout the game. It's going to drive us crazy. It's going to be 3rd and 4. It's going to be 3rd and something, and Lamar's just going to do something crazy and pick up the first. It's like, Lamar's going to annoy us all game long. We have to force Lamar Jackson to throw the ball and get turnovers off of that. Because this whole 4-3 system of Robert Saleh, it's all about the pass rush, disrupting the quarterback, forcing the quarterback to throw the ball, making bad decisions, and our secondary needs to be the one to rip the ball out of the air and get the turnover for our quarterback and Zach. So I think that the key is to absolutely pressure Lamar Jackson all game long, because containing him on the ground is basically borderline impossible, but it's possible to contain him through the air, which is why if he has to beat us on the ground and we can still contain him through the air, I like our chances. Because there's no way Lamar is just going to put up, unless he breaks free on a crazy rushing touchdown. Lamar can't just beat us with his legs. He has to throw the ball. And he has Mark Andrews, which I am really afraid of, to be real with you guys. Bateman, he's not a wide receiver that is going to scare us, but he's a talented receiver. And I got confidence in our corners to match up against him. So I think the biggest X factor for this entire defense, we've been saying it since Saleh came here, it's the pass rush. How consistently can we get to the quarterback? Do we need to rely on blitzing the quarterback to get there? Or can we get home on a 4-man rush? Because you know what made that San Francisco 49ers team so special when Saleh went to the Super Bowl as a defensive coordinator? Want to know why that defense was top in the league? Is because they had 4 absolute monsters on that D-line where they did not have to send blitzes, where they had 4 people blitzing and everybody else in coverage. And those 4 guys rushing the passer would win frequently and get home to the quarterback. They would win their one-on-ones, even win their double teams. And once in a while, they'll throw in a linebacker blitz, a slot corner blitz, and then throw off the quarterback. But we need the 4 men up front to get to the quarterback consistently this year. We need John Franklin Myers and Quinton Williams to lead the way, with Carl Lawson setting the edge, with Solomon Thomas up the middle, with Jermaine Johnson and Michael Clemens rotating in, Bryce Huff, Jacob Martin. Somebody needs to step up. Now, I brought up the start of the game that we need to really step up in. Well, you know where else we need to step up? Is the fourth quarter. Games are won and lost in the fourth quarter, and that's obvious, but it's a fact. The best players are the ones that steps up. Who's going to be that guy for the New York Jets to step up and make plays in the fourth quarter to win the game? On defense, is it Quinton Williams? Is Quinton going to just go into another level in that fourth quarter and disrupt the game? Is CJ Mosley going to do something? Is Sauce Gardner going to make an impact in the fourth quarter? Because in the fourth quarter, they're going to rely on man coverage a lot. On offense, Zach Wilson, hey, guess what? You're going to need to step up in the fourth quarter. He showed that against the Titans when we went into overtime and we went down the field. He showed that poise and that confidence and that clutch gene, but we really need to see that. You see these quarterbacks around the NFL. You see Josh Allen. You see Mahomes. You see Herbert. You saw Burrow last year. You see the veterans of Rodgers, Tom Brady. You see these guys. When it's the fourth quarter, the good ones are the ones that they elevate their game and they're slinging that thing all over the field with confidence, knowing where the ball needs to go, with accuracy. We need to see Zach Wilson do that, man. Now, we might not see that right out of the gate from Zach, but we need to see it multiple times this year, where it's the fourth quarter, we're down by 4 points, there's 5.5 minutes to go, Jets have the ball, they need to go the full length of the field. Can Zach Wilson lead a game-winning touchdown drive? That is what we need to see from Zach Wilson this year. Not every game. Give me that 3 or 4 times this year of Zach Wilson winning us a football game by marching down the field, by getting a game winner. Or even we're up. You don't have to be losing. We're winning by 4 points. And we have the ball. Protect the lead. Run the ball. Play smart. Pick up the first downs. You win and lose games in the fourth quarter. And who's those stars that's going to step up? Who are those guys that's going to step up on the offense outside of the quarterback that's going to get open for Zach? Is it going to be Elijah Moore? Is it going to be Corey Davis? Is it going to be the rookie, Garrett Wilson or Brees? the tight ends. So there's a lot of different avenues the Jets can go this season, and it's pretty crazy that the Jets season's starting this Sunday, and I'm going to be there. It's a little mind-blowing to me. But we're here, everybody. And Jets Media is so excited to launch. What season is this on this channel? I don't even know. This is like season 4 or 5. Which is kind of nuts. So I want you guys in the chat to answer this question for me. Who are some X factors for the New York Jets week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens? Give me 2 X factors on offense, 2 X factors on defense. Who are the 2 players at each side of the ball that needs to step up in order for this New York Jets team to get the victory? We're not playing for just nothing. We want a victory. But I also will say this. What we absolutely need to happen week 1 on all circumstances. Be competitive. Do not go into this game flat-footed and get your ass kicked like we did in the home opener last year against the Patriots and got embarrassed. That was terrible. That left Jets fans with a terrible taste in their mouth. If we go in there to MetLife Stadium and we're competitive for 4 quarters against the Baltimore Ravens and say we lose by a field goal, but Zach Wilson played well, the rookie showed up, the defense was making plays, but we just couldn't get that victory, but it was close, Jets fans are going to feel good about it. We're going to come out of that game and say, all right, it's going to be a good season. But if we become flat-footed and we get our ass whooped 37-14 or something nuts, that can't happen. It's impossible to be looking at this team on paper and being content with that. So that's really what I want to see on Sunday. We want to win, but worst case scenario better be a loss with competitive nature involved, with the team looking good, the defense being able to get stops and creating turnovers and getting pressure to the quarterback, with the offense being able to look like an NFL offense, putting up 20-plus points, getting in the end zone 3 times. We need to be able to come out of week 1 with a smile on our faces, even if we lose. Not saying it's a good thing if we lose the game, but I know that you guys can agree with me here that we are the underdogs against this Ravens team, and it's not going to be easy to beat them. But if we are going toe-to-toe and it goes down to the final couple minutes and the Ravens are the one that ends up winning, but the Jets still look like a team that Sauce had a bunch of plays, Elijah Moore had a touchdown, Breece Hall gets in the end zone, Conklin, Zach Wilson, 2 touchdowns, look good, but we still lose, it's going to bring a different feeling to this team. We're like, okay, week 1, we couldn't get the job done, but you can see that this team's different. You can feel it. All right, so let's get into the chat. What did you guys have to say about the X factors? All righty. Barney says, offense, Braxton Berrios and Breece Hall. I love it. I tweeted out yesterday, Braxton Berrios is going to have his most productive season of his career. He's entering year number 4. This is going to be the most he's ever been involved in an offense. He's going to go crazy this year. Amari says Zach Wilson and Breece Hall. Great answer. Brendan says Breece Hall and Elijah Moore, Carl Lawson and Quinton Williams. Yeah, I mean, Breece Hall definitely seems like he's the favorite here because you want to establish a run game. You want to be able to get a run game early. Elijah Moore, if he has a good game, that means the quarterback's having a good game. So sign me up. On the defense, you pick 2 defensive linemen. That's it, Brandon. You know what you're talking about. The entire X factor of this team is the defensive line. So Carl Lawson and Quinton Williams, if they both have really good days, I like our chances. Liam says Carl Lawson, Sauce Gardner on defense, Zach Wilson, and Elijah Moore on offense. Can't go wrong with this answer either. You got Carl Lawson coming off the edge, and you want Sauce Gardner to lock down his side of the field. And the quarterback, then Zach Wilson and Elijah Moore entering year 2. Barney says his defense is Quan and Sauce. Okay. All right. Andrews is Conklin and Flacco, Quincy and LaMarcus Joyner. Interesting. Okay, so Andrew is obviously predicting Flacco plays, but I'm assuming if Wilson plays, your X factor will be Zach Wilson because you're just saying the quarterback. So Tyler Conklin is an interesting answer because if Tyler Conklin has a really good game, 6, 7 receptions, 50 yards, and a touchdown. That's pretty sick. Quincy Williams and LaMarcus Joyner, very interesting defensive players you chose here. Well, LaMarcus Joyner, I don't know if he's going to be an X factor. He definitely cannot get beat deep. He's going to be a very pivotal piece of that veteran communicative perspective of that secondary, making sure that Sauce Gardner knows the play, understanding the system, knowing where the ball needs to be, where they need to be, knowing the play calls. LaMarcus Joyner is a really good veteran. Quincy Williams, I mean, if he has a good game, that means that he's stopping people at the line of scrimmage. He's hitting people hard. He's decent in coverage. He's not having boneheaded penalties. How many sacks for our defensive line against the Ravens? If we can get 4 or 5 sacks, that would be great. Is that too much to ask? Does Sauce get a pick in his first game? I don't know, man. Nobody's thrown the ball to Sauce, so it's hard to predict this. I'm going to say no. Richard from Jersey says Clemens will be an X factor. Amari on defense, Lawson and Sauce. Sports Frenzies is X factor on defense. Carl Lawson and CJ Mosley. Yeah, CJ Mosley is definitely a big one. Brees and Berrios, Lawson and Sauce. Clemens should get a lot of reps. I agree. CJ Mosley needs to be able to stop the run at the second level. That's extremely important. Yeah, I mean, he had 168 tackles last year, so I'm expecting that as well. Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner, the quarterback in Conklin. Okay. Michael Clemens is the X factor on offense and defense. If the Jets win, it'll be a huge confidence booster for this young roster. Oh my God, yeah. Throughout the first 4 games, we need to be able to win at least one of our 2 first home games. It's not going to be easy. We're going to be underdogs in both. The Ravens and the Bengals. We have to beat one of those teams. Whether it's the Ravens or the Bengals or both, I don't care. You need to win one of those first home games if you want to have a decent season this year. Let's come out of this first 4 games of the AFC North 2-2. Conklin, Wilson, Michael Carter II, and Whitehead. I love that MC2 one. MC2 is so underrated. 16-13 Jets in overtime. Oof. Jaw. Please. Let's not forget about my boy, Michael Carter. Yeah, I agree, Ray. I agree. It does seem like everyone's only talking about Breece Hall, and people need to understand that Breece Hall is not the only running back on this team that's going to be doing anything. It's going to be Carter and Hall. Not Hall. It's going to be Carter and Hall. Carter is actually on the field first for the in preseason at least. Michael Carter was the first running back on the field. Now, yes, I love Breece Hall, but people are forgetting about Michael Carter. If you're in fantasy this year, don't just draft Breece Hall. If you didn't do a draft yet, draft Michael Carter. He's going late, and he's going to be eating up PPR. He should be starting in your flex. I'm telling you. People just think it's Breece Hall's backfield. That's not the case. We have 2 stud running backs. Finally. Elijah Moore, offensive line. Quan Alexander, and Whitehead. I wonder how much Quan plays. I think the Zach Wilson we have this year is not the same Wilson from last year. It looks way different. As though he has a body double. Some secret hybrid operation he is a part of. I mean, his body definitely transformed. You guys have a good roster coming together. Oh, we got a Ravens fan in the chat. Thank you, man. Hopefully they can show up and look good. We're not going to win this with bombs, no matter who the quarterback is. Passes to E. Moore and G-Dub over the middle plus C. Yeah. Do you think CJ and Conklin will basically split reps equally? They're going to be on the field together. I mean, all the systems that the Jets run, it's a two tight end system. They're on the field at the same time. It's not going to be one on the field and then one come off. They're on the field at the same time. You saw it in the preseason. Now, it's not every single formation. There'll be the There'll be a couple plays when there's one tight end out there, and yeah, they'll split reps equally there. But don't get it twisted. This system is about 2 tight ends on the field at the same time, which is why they went out and got those 2 guys. We've beaten the Bengals before. Let's do it again, baby. Smash the Bengals, please. Bro, we're versing your entire division to start off the season. You know that? We verse the entire AFC North. We have the Ravens, then the Browns, then the Bengals, then the Steelers. So our hope is to just help you out. Maybe not help you out week 1, right? We want to beat you week 1. But after week 1, we're hoping that we can help you out. I think Carter should be running back 1. Let Brees learn the speed of the game. Listen, this system, there's no running back 1 in this system. That's what people are getting confused about. This system, there's no number 1 running back. Last year was the case with Coleman and Carter and Ty Johnson. It's a running back by committee approach. So even if Carter is the first running back on the field, does not mean he's running back 1. They're going to be splitting touches across the game. How nervous are we about week 1? I'm nervous all the time about my Jets. I don't care. It'll never go away. But it's like a exciting nervous. It's not like a, oh no, you know. Jimmy with the $5 donation. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Means a lot to the channel, my man. I'm going to the Ravens game because my brother is a Ravens fan, so hopefully Zach plays. Yeah, I hope Zach plays too, my man. I'll be there as well. And if Zach plays, oh my gosh, is that stadium going to be rattling? That stadium is going to be going wild. If Zach Wilson comes out of that tunnel and he plays and he's healthy and he's playing good football, oh my gosh, just don't throw a pick on your first pass attempt. That's all I ask. But Jimmy, I hope you have a great time at the game, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a fun season, everybody. I can taste it. Liam asks, do you think playoffs is a realistic goal? Now, I don't want to say that it's not realistic, but I personally don't see the Jets. Like, what I want to see from the Jets this year is simple. It's December, and we're playing games to try to fight for a wild card spot. We're not looking at the draft. We're not having those stupid, terrible debates that I've had on this channel every season where we should be losing for a better draft pick. If I hear that once this season, I'm going to be not a happy camper. I'm sorry. But if I hear somebody tell me that the Jets need to be losing games because that means we're going to get a better draft pick, I don't know if I can handle that. I'll be straight up with you guys. So my point is, in December, late November, December, we need to be playing games that mean something. So if we're playing, like, if the Jets can have a season like the Chargers last year, they had a successful season, Justin Herbert balled out, but they missed the playoffs. Would you guys say that's a successful season or not? Sign me up for that. I'm not saying I would prefer that. I would prefer to make the playoffs, obviously. But my point is, if the Jets have a really successful season and they just comes down to the last game and we miss the playoffs, but Zach Wilson looked good. We had a positive record, 9-8 or like 8-9, but we just barely missed the playoffs. And we also have to keep in consideration how stacked this conference is. It's ridiculously stacked. It's unbelievably stacked. It's annoyingly stacked. Like, don't sleep on the Broncos this year. That's my team to watch in the AFC. And, of course, we have to verse them. The Broncos are going to be wild this year. They're a quarterback away from being a monster house, and they just got their quarterback. To Jimmy with another donation. I want to be in the hunt in December. Yes. And the key to that is to get through this gauntlet of the beginning of the season. You got to get a couple wins we're not supposed to get. Can we beat one of the Ravens, the Bengals, the Packers, the Broncos, the Bills, the Patriots, the Dolphins? Obviously, you want to beat the Browns and the Steelers, but How many wins are we getting by the bye week? Best case scenario is 4-5. If we're 4-5 entering the bye, then I'll hop on the playoff bandwagon if that's the case. If we're like 3-6, that's not the worst case scenario, to be honest, because you look at the schedule, those 3 wins, who do we beat? How do we look in those 6 losses? And then you look at the schedule, then it gets easy. We can go on a little hot streak. We can win against a lot of teams. Because the first 9 games is a gauntlet, everybody. I'll bring up the schedule right here. First 9 games is a gauntlet. And, like, I would love to win 4 of those 9 games, but I don't know if that's asking for too much. All right, I'm bringing up the schedule. What's going on here? Chrome has lost permission. What do you mean you lost permission? Let me just share my screen. Sorry, guys. Trying to get... There we go. All right. So, week 1, we all know who we're versing, the Ravens. And then we're on the road against the Browns. That needs to be a dub, bro. Now, we can't sleep on the Browns because that's going to be their home opener. That's going to be their home opener. So it's not going to be an easy environment just to go to Cleveland and beat them. Even though they don't have Deshaun Watson right now, it's Brissett. They still are a very talented team. They got a good O-line. They got a great running attack. They got a solid defense. This game's not going to be easy. Then we're back home against the Bengals. Now, we beat the Bengals once at MetLife with the Mike White Magic last year. Do we have it in us again? Then we're on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers to finish off the AFC North gauntlet. Can we come out of these first 4 games 2-2? Can we beat one of the Ravens and the Bengals at home and beat one of the Browns and Steelers on the road? That's how I want to see. Unless we could beat both the Browns and the Steelers and be 3-1. But I'm not going to be a delusional Jets fan. I'm going to be realistic right here. Then probably one of the most important games of the entire season is week 5. I'm not even just saying that, bro. I'm not saying that because that's Jets Media Day. But week 5 is going to be the most important game of the season in the early section because it's our first divisional game of the year. And we know that the Jets have been absolutely getting their ass spanked in this division for the past so many years. The Dolphins have become the Jets' #1 rival in the division, in my opinion. At least that's my take. Jets fans could say, no, I hate the Bills more, I hate the Patriots more, I hate the Dolphins more as of right now, as a team. This is a game where we're at home in our house, coming off of the AFC North gauntlet in the first 4 games. Whether we're 2-2, whether we're 1-3, whether we're 0-4, I don't give a damn. This needs to be a victory. For so many different reasons. If you want to be competitive in the division, you win against your divisional opponents in your own house. When you're at home against the Dolphins, you need to beat them. Don't be competitive and lose. You beat the Dolphins. You set up the standard for this Jets team that we are on the rise. That this offseason of just acquiring all this talent is not just because we're winning the headlines and we're winning that we won the NFL draft. We're winning the national media takes that the Jets are the team to watch. The Jets are talented. The Jets are this. The Jets are that. Well, now is the time to actually go on the field and prove it. And what better to do it against is your own divisional rival who we have to beat in order to leap. So I'm circling week 5 as the most important game of the season. Because if we beat the Miami Dolphins week 5, that sends a shockwave through the division. The Patriots saw us do that. And the Bills, they're not really worried. They're going to go all the way and do their own thing. But The battle for that second place is real. And the Jets want to get out of the gutter. The Jets want to get out of the gutter. And you got to get out of the gutter by beating your own team in the division. And then we go away on a back-to-back trip versus two excellent teams, the Green Bay Packers and the Denver Broncos. Now, this is why Week 5 is a must-win. Because if we lose against the Dolphins, and then we have to go against the Packers and the Broncos, then that's where shit gets crazy. So, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, back-to-back weeks at their stadium. We're lucky if we win one of these two games. We are. It's possible. Anything can happen on any given Sunday. But we'll be lucky if we win one of these two games. Just being honest. And then the final two games before the bye week is the divisional games. We got the Patriots at home and the Bills at home. So, I think I just realized this. Wow. I just realized this. So, we start off this season, guys. Listen to this. Listen up. We start off this season facing the AFC East. Oh, wrong camera. We start off this season, guys, facing the AFC East all at home. Dolphins at home. Patriots at home. Bills at home. All before the bye week. And after the bye week, we have to face those three teams again at their own stadium. You gotta win one of those three games minimum before the bye. I'm sorry. You gotta beat the Dolphins, Patriots, or Bills once at your own stadium before the bye. Preferably two. Because I don't like our chances going to Foxborough as much as I like our chances of beating them at home. I'm just realizing that we are facing our own division at home for 3 straight games. Not in a row. It's broken up in between the road trip with the Packers and the Broncos. We face the Dolphins at home. We go on the road for 2 weeks against the Packers and Broncos. And then we're back home for 2 straight divisional games at MetLife. That is going to be such an important piece to this team, man. If we can shock the world and beat the Bills. Now, I'm not putting all my eggs in the basket on that one because of how stacked and how ready this Bills team is going to win. How ready this team is. But if we could beat the Dolphins and the Patriots, we have to. Like, I'm giving the Jets a minimum of 2 victories in the division. And that's like not asking for a lot, guys. It's really not. I'm asking the Jets to go 2-4 in the division. Is that too much to ask? Split with the Dolphins, split with the Patriots. If you get swept by the Bills, you get swept by the Bills. I'm not going to cry over it because of how good they are. I like to be competitive in those games, but you got to beat the Dolphins and the Patriots once each. If you can sweep one of them, excellent. But you got to beat them both once. And then after the bye week, we're back on the road. Back against the AFC East. We have 3 straight AFC East games. 3 straight. Patriots, Bills, Patriots. Broken up by the bye. It's wild. And then we got a statement game back home against the year 2 quarterback, Justin Fields. Now, this could be a trap game. Obviously, the Bears are not a team that Jets fans are scared of. But you still got to be able to get that dub. Winnable game. Vikings, Minnesota is one of those teams that is very, slept on every year. They have Kirk Cousins who just throws the ball and puts up good numbers. So that's not going to be an easy game. The Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, that's not going to be easy at all. And then these next 3 games to finish off the season. Lions, Jaguars, Seahawks. Not saying it's easy, but you can win those 3 games. They're all winnable. And then to finish off the year, we're in Miami. So that's really the schedule breakdown. I have no idea how to predict how many wins we're going to get. But my minimum number is 7. If we can go 7-10 minimum, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see 6. I don't want to see 5. I don't want to see 4. I want to see 7 wins minimum. So that's really where I'm at with this whole situation, looking at the schedule. Hearing that Zach Wilson is potentially going to be starting week 1 is music to my ears. It should be music to all your ears as well. Woo! All right, everybody. So we got the breaking news that Zach Wilson, we'll find out on Wednesday. For those guys that did not hear from Saleh, I'll let you hear it one more time. This is what Saleh had to say to talk about Zach Wilson coming back potentially for week number 1.
We're gonna see how the knee responds today and tomorrow, and we'll have an answer for everybody on Wednesday.
So there's a possibility he could play on Sunday.
Yeah, possible.
Is that surprising at all, Robert, given what the kind of initial prognosis was?
No. Everyone heals differently. It's like I said, we'll see what happens tomorrow and all that stuff. But everyone has a different. I almost feel like some of the guidelines that are put on are they're guidelines, but everyone responds differently, I guess.
So when you say you guys worked him out, like what does that entail exactly?
Just putting them through some workouts, running, and all that stuff, and I mean whatever they do. I wish I'd have to get you that answer from the training staff and our docs.
So that's what Saleh had to say about Zach Wilson potentially coming back for week 1. He looked good today. If he looks good tomorrow, and if he looks good Wednesday, and he checks out, guess what, everybody? Zach Wilson's starting week 1. Now, it's not guaranteed. I'm aware of that, but there's still a chance. So that's going to wrap up this live stream, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys that tuned into the live show. We have 130 likes with 175 people tuning in. If you did not hit that thumbs up button, please do me a favor and do just that. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We got a lot of content coming your way. Expect every single Monday I'll be live for 2 hours to recap the Jets game. We're going to be diving deep into every single thing that we saw from the Jets game of week number 1. I'm going to have some live callers hop on so we can debate and talk about what we saw from the Jets the day prior. We have a lot of other stuff planned for the entire week leading up until the games, recapping the games. There's a lot of fun things happening here on Jets Media. So again, if you're new to the channel, help me out to get to the new goal of 13,000 subscribers. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up button for your boy on your way out. Thank you guys so much for all the love and all the support. Jets Nation, we're here. Game day is on Sunday. We have football Thursday, the Bills and the Rams. Oh my goodness. Let's go Jets. Great news about our quarterback, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Thank you, Edward. Appreciate you. Let's go Jets.